Hello everybody, it's Ramon Medina here for another Hibernation podcast. And on today's podcast, I'm gonna go over a few things, progress reports, and I'm also gonna be doing a couple of book reviews here. First, a book I read by Stephen Moore, The Samurai Code. He Kane Noveletta, and sorry, it's Stephen Moore. If I'm pronouncing Hiwan Kane wrong, forgive me. And we're also going to be doing a book review done by my reviewer, my official reviewer, Elaine Emmerich, called Bishop's War by Rafael Hines, which is a military thriller. So sit back, relax, and hear me yap about some good things about books if you're into that kind of stuff. So let's get started. So what I've been up to right now, I have my newest book coming out, or it's on pre-order, which is my second book of the Angel Nightmares Adventure series, which is Angel's Nightmare Adventure 2, the second book of the series. The Nightmare Continues, and right now that's on pre-order for $1.99. So you get your pre-order your copy, and I also have the paperback for $7.99 for those who want early access. So if you want early access to that, you can get that. I've gotten some really good reviews over the week. That's no surprise there. Sales are, not going off the roof, but they're steady. They're doing well. I'm selling pretty well right now. Alright, today's winner is the 1,000 Years War. It's all of a sudden kind of custom steam. I've joined this new club. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'll be for another video. That's into science fiction reads, video game reads. So you can check that out when you have time. So right now, what I'm really working on is marketing. June is it's become my June marketing month. I've been just marketing my books, just trying to get sales on the books I have already. Trying not to get too involved with anything big, because my next big project, if you've been following me, is my Knights of Honor series, which is a historical fiction series where it's a reimagining of history from the Copper Age all the way to the Middle Ages. And I've been doing some posts on Patreon, and if you could support me, I'll have to link to my Patreon, so you could support me, give me $1 or $2, donate, support the cause. It's gonna be an epic book. It's gonna be an epic series. It's not gonna be true history, but I'm not gonna put any alchemy or any fantasy. It's just gonna be good old Roman, swordplay, Egyptian swordplay. If you're into history, you're gonna love this next book I got in store. If you're a history buff, or if you're into ancient warfare, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. I'm really having fun doing the world building, and so it's not just June marketing, it's been June world building. I've been doing a lot of world building, doing a post a day, except for weekends. But I've been known to do a post even on Sundays. If my career chooses of going in the weekend, I will do it. If not, then I'm having a good weekend, or too good of a weekend. So that's what I'm doing now, and trying to catch up on doing some podcasts that I've been falling behind YouTube because I've been so busy with projects. So if you haven't seen me in a while, you know why. So right now, if I had to give myself a grade, right now, I wouldn't give myself an A+. I have to be honest. I'm doing much better than when I first started. So, back then I would have given myself a C, but this time I give myself like a B+, close to an A. Obviously there's still room for improvement. I got much, more wave of views, so that's helped me out, significantly. My confidence, my marketing's been doing it for me lately. So, things are starting to turn around for me. So, I'm getting there. I got some really good friends, helping me out. And, and one of the authors I'm going to be doing a review for, he's an up and coming author, a British author. He lives in Mexico, and he loves it out there. And me and him are starting to become good friends. we're starting to talk to each other. Give us, gives me good advice. I offer him, some advice too. Even though I think he knows what he's doing. He's a very smart man. Don't let the middle-aged look of him fool you. If you ever meet Stephen Moore, he's an excellent man, excellent gentleman. And I had the pleasure of reading his first book, his second book actually, The Samurai Code, which is the first book review I'll be doing in this podcast. The Samurai Code. So the Samurai Code, let me read you the description according to what I read on Amazon. And by the way, this was I had the pleasure of getting a free review copy from him. He was nice enough to give me a review copy in exchange for an honest review. So thank you, Steve Moore. Thank you for giving me the review copy. And I know it took me a little while, but I was busy and I didn't want to give a bullshit review. I wanted to read it for myself, see how it really was. Although I was pretty impressed with the reviews he's gotten already, so I was kind of confident I was in for a good read. So this is the blurb, or what the book is supposed to be about. Expedition leader Hiram King is in Japan when the storm of the century hits. He joins the rescue mission as the flash floods cause chaos, death, and destruction. Yokosuwa boss Katashi Goto is retiring from the Japanese mob, but before he does, there's one more thing to achieve: revenge over a centuries-old enemy. When the two worlds collide between the British and the Japanese, Hiram King is forced to make a choice. He has always known honor is worth fighting for. When he's challenged by the Japanese mobster, he has to decide: is it also worth dying for? So that's the blurb. And I had to also, and after I read the book, I also took a better look at Stephen Moore's website, and I found out this is going to be the first in the series of many more Hiram King adventures. So I really look forward to the rest of the books coming out. So I hope it comes out soon, Steve, but not too soon, because I don't want to get your book and for it to be stuck in the basement of my Kindle library, and I end up giving you a review over a year late. So anyway, Hiram King could be classified as like an Indiana Jones. Hiram King's like the British version of Indiana Jones, and I think I spoke to Mr. Moore about it. While Indiana Jones, he kind of got the idea that he is kind of an Indiana Jones storyline, but set in Japan. And I was really into the culture diffusion between the British and the Japanese. I really like how he fused the two cultures together, because the British and the Japanese never really got to meet each other in actual history, in actual practical history. They never really met each other, never really got together, or never had a cultural diffusion between themselves. So Stephen Moore really gave me a unique experience in that aspect. And it's a very thrilling novel. Hiram King has to go. He's some kind of an archaeologist, expeditionist or archaeologist, in search of some of the most ancient goods, best, and then he bumps into this Japanese mobster, and it just so happens that they're going into Japanese history, and according to the title, the Samurai Code, he's going to feudal Japan, when it was doing the feudal age, back to when they had samurais, katanas, all that good stuff. So it turns out there's a much deeper story than just finding an ancient samurai code. So obviously don't let the title fool you on that. Anyway, my final rating was a 5 out of 5. Excellent. Not too many. It was a nice crisp read. Cool. It's a not noveletta. It's not too long of a read. It's an excellent. Nice new. Cool read if you're bored, or if you're really an Indiana Jones fan. I'm not really a big Indiana Jones fan, but I've seen a couple of films. Like the Temple of Doom. like I said, that's how much of an Indiana Jones fan I am. I'm not really a big fan. I really don't. I'm really gotten to a point fault with the other two titles. I know Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I didn't get to see that one. No. So, but you get the idea. So, excellent job, Steve Moore. 5 out of 5. I can't spoil the ending. I'm not the kind of guy to spoil endings for you. So, you're just gonna have to read for yourself. And right now, you can get it on Amazon.com. For 99 cents. He's got a nice little sale going on. 99 cents for the Kindle edition, and just £1 in the United Kingdom. If you got a pound to spare in the United Kingdom, go ahead, grab this gem for a buck. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. And I also see he's got an audio book as well. So if you really don't like reading and you want to have a narrator read it now to you, you can get that as well for about $13. In the United States and in the United Kingdom, you get it for £12 and 68 shillings. So, awesome. It's an awesome read. I recommend you check it out. And Stephen Moore's a very awesome guy to meet, and if you're an indie author, he's a really good friend to meet as well. So I think that's enough for that. Let's going to move on to the next part of our podcast, and that's Elaine's review of Bishop Swarm by Rafael Hines. It's a thriller book. It's a military thriller, and I'm just going to give you what it's about, the description. It's a fast-paced action suspense thriller that introduces us to Special Forces Sergeant John Bishop, decorated war hero and nephew of crime boss Gonzalo Valdez. After returning home from Afghanistan, he hopes for a peaceful future, but they are quickly shattered when he's captured back into the global war on terror and for a succession of life-threatening events and corrupt intrigue. He battles against terrorist operatives in New York, a powerful Afghan world lord, and a psychopath billionaire with powerful White House connections. So right there, that's just a really juicy storyline right there, and I can see why Elaine got this book, and really wonderful. When John's uncle gets involved, he proceeds to treat John's enemies to a bitter taste of mob vengeance. From that point on, the ride speeds up, and the reader will have to hold on for dear life. So let's see what Elaine thought of the book. So I asked her to grade it in four categories, which is characters, the plot, the writing structure, the ending, and then and give it an overall ranking. But I think for Renee, this wasn't a very hard book to review at all. Characters, she gave it a perfect 5. She says the main characters in the story are believable and real. John Bishop is a Special Forces sergeant and that returns home from Afghanistan. Felix Valdez is John's cousin, but they were raised together by the crime boss, who was the head of the Valdez crime family. Maria, who is John's high school sweetheart. Bunny, who is John's closest friend and also a former Green Beret who served with John in Iraq. So Elaine got a little description of the characters here. So by the way, you could check out this review on the Hybrid Nation website on the hybridnationrevolution.com, and then you click on book reviews and you go to book reviews number 2. Ow. Just stretch my neck, man. Say hello to my mother again. For plot, in short, the plot, there are many subplots of this novel, but the main story is about John Bishop returning home and stopping a terror attack in New York City. The local terrorists come after him and his cousin Felix, but they soon discover the Valdez crime family has his own army in New York, and the hunters soon become the hunted. So, there's just a lot of storylines that really make this into an awesome book, and really, I think for Rafael Hines, I think this may be a book I have to add to my to-be-read list. Writing structure, perfect 5 out of 5, no grammar errors, it's a smooth read, it's more of a thrilling read. And for the ending, she gave it a perfect 5. The ending is absolutely brilliant. The climax of the story is mind-blowing as John and his family take care of his enemies. John Maria get married when he returns. After his enemies are killed, new people take up the cost to kill John Bishop and his family. So guess is an indication that this is not the end of the series. That there's gonna be more. There's gonna be another book to the series, which I'm sure Rafael Hines is probably working on right now. So overall, probably 5 out of 5. She loved the attention. You know, it absolutely brings the story and characters to life, from the streets of New York to the villages of Afghanistan. You know, and you get characters that you really care about. So really, just the perfect book for her. And that's the review on the Bishop's. On the Bishop's. See if I got that right. Yep, Bishop's War by Rafael Hines. So I think that's going to do it for the podcast. I hope you enjoy this podcast. And I'm gonna be trying to do more of these podcasts this month with more books that me and Nate have read. So if you think your book is good enough, send it over to the Hybrid Nation. Get one of us to review it, and if it's good enough, you may be featured on our book review podcast, and you can share it with your friends. So, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and rest of your night if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, rest of your day if you're in the Pacific Time Zone. And you take it easy, alright? Bye, everybody.